Good morning, everybody. Welcome to JSpeak. We're going to cover a couple things this week. First up, awesome deal alert. The Marshall 100-watt Silver Jubilee reissue, the 2555X, is on massive discount now from $1,900 down to $1,250 or $1,300, depending on what retailer. You may be able to combine it with a coupon or get an open box for even less. But I jumped in. So it's got to be loud. But you get it cooking, it sounds awesome. So give me a thumbs up if you got one. And if you go get one, give me a thumbs up. Comment below. Let me know what you think about it. Obviously, I'm a huge British amp fan. I love orange amps, obviously. But why not add a Marshall and have some sonic variety? So check that out. I got a question about the OR15 against the Rocker 15. Based on pure feature set, I'd say the Rocker 15, it is a twin channel amp. It's more robust feature-wise. As far as wattages, you can run like the 0.0 watt and the half watt, the 7 watt, and the 15 watt. So I think that's highly beneficial if you need a small combo. Most places you can gig up and have it mic. So I think if you're looking for a good, home amp, the OR15 is a good amp, but the Rocker 15 I think just beats it out on a feature set level. I did have an OR15. I've never had or played a Rocker 15. So the OR15 is a single channel amp. It's got very little headroom that I found, but I really liked it. I like how it broke up, and that's why I got the amps behind me. I really wanted the OR100, so I picked that up. And I love that so much that I got the OR50, which I also like. They are probably two of my favorite amps that Orange has made, but I still have love for the Rocker series and the Rocker Verbs and, those types of things. I've yet to actually try a Thunder or Thunder Verb, and I really like to get my hands on a dual dark, but down the road at some point. But based off of the release of the Rocker 32, and I own a Rocker 30 head, I thought, why not have an amp duel? Little shootout time. So that's what this video this week is going to be of. I actually took both amps. The track's about 2.5 minutes, so we go through the Rocker 30 head, and then we go through the Rocker 32 head, and then at the end I go through each of the different guitar parts and just solo them against each other so you can hear the differences, because there is a difference. Those gold label speakers against the V30 are very different. EL84 versus EL34 is very different. So let's go over where they are similar. And we'll just look at the Rocker 30 and the Rocker 32, and we'll just go over controls. So the natural channel is just a knob. It's a volume knob. And the dirt channel has got your gain, your volume, your middle, your bass, and your treble. And that's it. That's pretty much the similarities from looking at them. The original Rocker combo was a 112, and it had a V30, whereas this is two 10-inch speakers. They're gold label Voice of the World speakers, and they're very different than a V30. But the original Rockers had EL34 tubes. They had 3 preamp tubes. And they had no effects loop. They had no half watt or half power options. They ran 30 watts, and they are loud. They are really great amps. Now the outputs on the Rocker 30, there's 2 8-ohm and 1 16-ohm on the back, and they're made in the UK. Whereas the Rocker 32 has 2 independent 16-ohm out to each speaker in that cab. Now you can successfully run them to 16-ohm external cabs, but the problem is that you have a combo then sitting out to 2 different cabs. There's no through on the Rocker 32, so you would only essentially be using one 10-inch speaker in an external cab, and one speaker is dormant if you were to do it that way. Or you just have a combo sitting on top of a cabinet or 2, and it's kind of like a full stack and a half or something. But again, it is made in China, which is different than the original Rockers. It runs on EL84 tubes. It's got 4 of them in it, and it also has 6 preamp tubes. So there's a couple for the effects loop and a couple for the preamp stages, but you're talking 5 tubes against 10 tubes. It literally has double the tubes. But the effects loop is really cool because you can run it in mono or you can run it in a stereo setup, and the speakers are a little disjointed, so you can get cool panning effects. It's a little hard to make out in the room because the stereo field's not that big. The speakers are right next to each other and they're pumping straight out. Now it is an open back, so some sound leads the back, but you're not 3 feet apart or 10 feet apart where you actually have a really cool stereo image. I would tell you that it's a lot of fun to play with effects, and you're going to tell from the demo I use them quite heavily, but that's why I isolated it, so you could hear the different tracks. But overall, listening through headphones on a recorded track, it sounds really full, it sounds really nice. The 10s definitely do the amp justice. I think it's very well built, regardless of whether it's made in China or not. And, you know, the half power option is great, and the effects loop's great. So check out that video. Let me know what you think. If you picked one up, let me know. Your comments, leave your messages, questions. I will get to them. And thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe. Have a good one.